At the community pool, Manager McGrady is posting signs to inform visitors that the pool will be closed over the holiday weekend. Bree is having a great time swimming, but takes a break to check her blood sugar levels. Before returning to the water, she debates whether or not to remove her diamond ring. Meanwhile, janitor Clara is caught red-handed by McGrady while attempting to steal money from forgotten wallets in the Lost and Found. Regretting the good things he said about her to her parole officer, McGrady decides to fire her, though she still has to finish her shift. Outside in the parking lot, Bree's sister Jonna sits in her car, debating if she should go inside. After some thought, she locks her phone in the glove compartment and decides to join her sister. Since her time in rehab, the two haven't spent much time together, so Bree is happy they finally get to reconnect. Jonna arrives in a sour mood, frustrated by her problems at home and annoyed by loud kids running around the pool. But Bree manages to lift her spirits and convinces her to enjoy the day. The sisters end up having a fun and peaceful afternoon at the pool, but eventually McGrady announces it's time to leave. When Jonna points out the pool should be open until 7, McGrady replies that it's closing early for the holiday and sarcastically tells her to learn how to read. As they dry off, Bree remembers she wanted to show Jonna her diamond ring, but she can't find it in her bag. With everyone else already gone, McGrady urges them to leave quickly, but they ignore him. Jonna notices something in the pool and sees the ring stuck in the metal grill. Bree dives in and tries to retrieve it, but it won't come loose. Jonna jumps in to help, only to have her hair get caught. Focused on freeing it, neither of them realizes the fiberglass pool cover is slowly closing. Believing the place is empty, McGrady locks up and leaves. Trapped under the cover, the sisters panic. They yell and bang against the fiberglass, but it's no use. McGrady is gone. After a tense exchange, Jonna starts to feel sick and becomes convinced they were locked in on purpose. Bree calms her down, and they swim to the center to try lifting the cover, but it doesn't budge. Bree searches along the pool's edges for any weaknesses, but finds nothing useful except a pair of swim trunks. Eventually, they notice a condensation hole in the cover, though it's sealed tight. Bree swims to a wall opening and removes a plastic cover. She snaps it in half to create a makeshift tool, hoping to fit it through the hole and try to saw the cover open. While Bree works on the hole, Jonna keeps complaining, which sparks an argument. Jonna resents Bree for moving on with her life while she was stuck in rehab, and Bree accuses Jonna of tossing the ring into the pool out of spite. Furious, Bree dives back in and finally manages to free the ring from the grill. Jonna takes over the sawing but ends up accidentally cutting her hand. Bree returns and suggests that the grill might be heavy enough to break the fiberglass cover, though she doesn't have the strength to lift it on her own. Jonna refuses to help, but before things escalate, they hear Bree's phone ringing. It's her fiancé David, leaving a voicemail to say he'll be late due to a company dinner. That means he won't realize she's missing anytime soon. Feeling hopeless, Bree dives again and tries removing the grill, but it's no use. Time passes, and as darkness falls, the lights in the building go out. Bree's phone keeps ringing with David's calls, and Jonna starts ranting about how she never liked him anyway. Then Jonna notices Bree seems unwell and asks what's wrong. Bree admits she was diagnosed with diabetes while Jonna was in rehab and now needs her insulin shot or risks slipping into a coma. Meanwhile, Clara is back in the building but barely putting effort into her duties. Back in the pool, the sisters keep alternating at sawing through the cover. While working, Jonna sees burn scars on Bree's arm and asks what really happened when their father died. She doesn't remember. Bree tries to avoid the subject but eventually opens up, calling their dad a monster. She explains he came home drunk that night, lit a cigarette, and passed out. The cigarette ignited the pillow, and since he was too drunk to feel anything, he never woke up. Bree had tried to save him, which is how she got burned. Just then, Clara enters the pool area and hears Bree's phone ringing. When she approaches to steal it, she hears the girls shouting and pretends to ask questions, stalling while trying to empty Bree's wallet. But she freezes when she sees the security cameras still on. Clara heads to the control room to turn them off and restore the lights. Returning to the pool, she asks Bree for her phone passcode, pretending she wants to help. Bree gives it to her, but instead of calling for help, Clara starts listening to David's voicemails. Jonna starts yelling insults at Clara, prompting her to drop the act and reveal her true situation. After serving time in prison, she's struggling to find work and desperately needs money. She tells the sisters she'll help them escape if Bree gives her the PIN to her ATM card. The sisters refuse, so Clara turns off the lights and heater, threatening to let them freeze overnight. With no other choice, Bree gives her the PIN. Clara takes the wallet and leaves but doesn't turn the heater back on, forcing the sisters to huddle together for warmth. Hours drag by, and Bree's body starts to ache badly from the cold. Jonna decides to make another attempt at removing the grill. She dives in but freezes in fear before even reaching it. When she surfaces, she sees Bree has dozed off and quickly wakes her. Jonna admits she couldn't go through with the attempt and breaks down. blaming herself and calling herself useless. Bree comforts her and tells her it's not her fault. Yana then picks up the shard and continues sawing the hole, saying it's the only thing keeping her warm. Bree encourages Yana to open up about her feelings. Yana confesses that she used to see monsters everywhere, which drove her to attempt suicide. She still feels like one lives inside her, a symbol of the abuse their father inflicted. She reveals that she still hears his voice in her head. Suddenly, the sisters are startled by movement above the hole, but it's just Clara again. She's furious after finding only $80 in Bree's bank account and unleashes a bitter rant, claiming everyone has problems and nobody is owed anything. Clara threatens to leave them to die and heads back to the control room. Yana, now desperate, sharpens the shard against the pool wall and pretends to have a breakdown. Crying and apologizing, she says she wants to confess something and speaks so softly that Clara leans in to hear. As soon as she does, Yana stabs her through the hole with the shard. Clara screams and stumbles off to the bathroom to check her injury. Furious, she heads back to the control room to exact revenge. She activates the automatic pool cleaning system, filling the water with chlorine and causing the sisters to start choking. Struggling to breathe, they attempt to block the jets using their hands and the swimming trunks, but the force is too strong and pushes them back. Bree eventually loses consciousness and sinks, forcing Yana to dive down, push her back up, and hold her until she revives. With air running out, they yell that Clara is killing them. This finally breaks Clara's resolve, and she shuts the system off. Clara then demands Bree's ring in return for letting them go. Despite Yana's protests, Bree hands it over. But even after getting the ring, Clara still doesn't open the pool cover. Clara says she'll open the cover when she's ready and turns off the lights again. Moments later, the pool cover begins to move, and sirens are heard outside. David rushes in to save Bree, but doesn't see Yana and fears she's drowning. Bree sobs, feeling helpless, only to suddenly wake up and realize it was all a nightmare. She checks on Yana and finds her holding the shard, contemplating suicide. Thankfully, Bree calms her down, promising never to leave her. The sisters hug and apologize to each other. Meanwhile, Clara is admiring the ring while Bree's phone keeps buzzing with texts from David. His last message says he's about to call. Clara, realizing things are escalating, heads back to the pool to wrap it up. The sisters pretend to agree with her outlook, saying maybe this ordeal had a purpose and apologizing for calling her a monster. Touched, Clara tears up and goes to unlock the pool, but the code doesn't work. Panicking, she tells the girls, refusing to call the cops. She fears going back to prison, saying it nearly destroyed her the first time. Feeling defeated, Clara leaves Bree's belongings on the bench and walks away. More hours pass. Yana keeps swimming to stay warm and alert, but Bree is fading fast. When Yana checks on her, Bree admits something heavy. She always knew what their father did to Yana and hated him for it. On the night of the fire, their dad was awake and tried to escape, but Bree held him down, letting him burn so they could be free. Moved by her sister's confession, Yana feels even more determined to save her. She places Bree on the buoys and dives down to work on the grill. Yana surfaces to breathe between attempts. After several failed tries, she gets an idea. Using the swim trunks, she wraps them around the grill's bars to pull without cutting her hands. Slowly, the grill starts to loosen. After much effort, she manages to yank it free and surfaces triumphantly, only to see Bree unconscious. Panicked, Yana performs mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and thankfully revives her. Using the grill, Yana strikes the fiberglass pool cover above the hole. It cracks under the impact until it finally breaks. The opening is small, so when Yana reaches in to widen it, she injures her arm. Bree passes out again, forcing Yana to drag her out of the water. She rushes to Bree's bag, finds her medicine, and injects it into her leg. After a tense pause, Bree comes to and breathes again. Just then, Clara reappears, gun in hand. She's terrified the girls will report her to the police. Yana, emotional and raw, tells her Bree is all she has in this world. That honesty touches Clara, who lowers the weapon and returns the ring. Yana quickly calls the police and tells Clara to leave before they show up. Later, Bree wakes up on a stretcher. After paramedics treat her, Yana reveals she got the ring back, smiling as she says, "We finally killed the monster."